Good evening, lovely people. Sorry we're a little bit late, but me and Emma were talking away and we kind of get into the middle of a big, huge conversation and we forgot all about you. Sorry. So welcome back to the midweek Q&A, sweet and salty, I think we called it. Again, joined by the always lovely Emma Connell.
Hello.
In a very attractive setting. Why don't you tell us about your setting and what your setting's doing?
I can certainly do that. So I feel like I should mention first that I am wearing a yellow T-shirt in homage to the Piccalilli situation. So it's my Piccalilli coloured T-shirt. It's offset beautifully by the cafe that you see in the background. I'm back at work this week, and work is our little cafe, bakery, kitchen, coffee shop, because we have launched an online cake shop so that we can serve all of our lovely customers in doorstep safe deliveries. So it's a bit of an adventure. It might work. Hopefully it does. The lovely Pete was part of a testing process to make sure that cake could actually travel in the post as well as just by vehicle. And that seemed to work okay. It didn't arrive with an entire box of crumbs. So yeah, it's a busy week for us this week, and it's ace to be back in the cafe, albeit without any customers, which is a little bit weird.
So I'm still typing in the background because woefully underprepared this evening. So tell people what they can kind of get on your delivery service.
So we have got a little bit of a limited offer to what we might normally sell in the shop, just because we can't get all of our ingredients and there is only one of us working in the kitchen at any one time. But we have got some really lovely treat boxes, so you can get a selection of all sorts of things in our bakery counter. So you can get some ginger nut fudge shortbread, some white tiffins, some sticky ginger cakes. We've got things to cater for dietary requirements. So if you're vegan, we've got things for you. If you're gluten-free, we've got things for you. And we've got chocolate boxes as well, chocolate lovers boxes, which are my personal favourite because everything's got chocolate on it. We have also got some celebration cakes. So I am not making a three-dimensional Justin Bieber or anything in the shape of a bear, but we've got some really sort of tasteful is the right word for it. I hope nobody would expect anything else from us. And they're kind of like drip cakes with loads of sweets and a nice happy birthday on the top, or not if it's not someone's birthday, but we can send those too. We can't post the celebration cakes though. I fear Royal Mail or Parcel Force is not ready for that.
Could we not get one of a bear eating Justin Bieber? How does that sound?
I mean, I'll give it a go. It might be two-dimensional though. I once was asked, would I make a three-dimensional Justin Bieber head? Firm no from me.
Cool. So for the more observant of you, we've put a little banner down the bottom there, and that's the website where you can pick up your sweet goodness. I'm struggling badly here because I do have a plug, but I can't find it anywhere. So tonight we are going to do basically the same as we done a couple of weeks ago, which was fantastically successful. If you have any questions which are cake related or savoury related, please come online, stick your question in the comments box, and we will do our very best to answer it. We might do something a little bit special tonight, whereby if we like the questions, we might actually get you live on the show so you can ask me or Emma in person. There'll be buttons to press, and it's all very simple, and just click the link and the wonders of technology will do the rest. But it would be great to have some live bodies on there. I see we've been joined by the mother of Connells. Sylvia is with us.
Hi,
we are also going to do a bit of a giveaway as well. I'll put the details. That was a bit I was frantically underprepared for, and quite honestly, still typing as Emma was mugging for time. So, pirate cake giveaway. The cakes are not coming from me. Be rest assured of that. Health and safety first. Emma will be doing the fantastic selection of her finest work. And we will post that out to a lucky winner. Under separate post, you will also be able to win a Pirate King TV t-shirt. That Pride, our first winner, we had a competition a little bit when we started the channel at first. and Karen Cleland won that. So she got her T-shirt. There's a picture of her on the site, on the Facebook page, wearing her T-shirt. It fits and it's lovely, and she's lovely, and the T-shirt, and it all goes together, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if you want to win a box of loveliness and possibly the must-have fashion accessory this year, what you have to do is you have to like this video, and you have to share it with 3 people, and also like and share the Pirate King TV and the Gloria and Lil Facebook pages. So there'll be links everywhere for all that to happen. And if you do all those things, the lucky winner will be picked at random by myself or Emma, and you'll get some cakes and a T-shirt. How's that sound? Good.
Sounds awesome.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to do something technical, so bear with me.
This is like a good demonstration of multitasking. Can men multitask?
So that will be scrolling along the bottom for people who perhaps join us a little later or watch this on repeat, because we're all watching repeats because of lockdown. So do we say, we'll run this until next Wednesday, because we are doing a good trade and follow-up views. Big major milestone for Pirate King TV this week. Our Raiders of the Lost Sausage episode on Saturday, which was tapas from the fridge leftovers. We're at nearly 11,000 views. So our target was to get 10,000 views at some point on this whole crazy journey. And thanks to you people who watch at home, we've blown that out of the water this week. So from me to you, thank you very much. So we'll see if we have any questions yet. Absolutely none. Nobody wants to know anything about cakes. So it's just up to you and me to talk rubbish. I have a question for you.
Ooh.
If you're wanting to bake something a bit more exotic, I have all my suppliers and I know all the places to go for meat and fish and spices and all that. But if I'm looking for specialist flours, because in this lockdown, I've been thinking about making my own tortillas, maybe making some rye bread. And I know we can't go to the likes of the whole big wholesale suppliers. If somebody was looking to buy small amounts of like rice flour or coconut flour or the more speciality flours over and above your self-raising and corn flour and bread, where can they go for that kind of thing? And that question is from Peter in Uddingston.
Well, hi, Peter in Uddingston. My first piece of advice would be chat to your local organic or alternative kind of health food shop. So like your independent sort of Holland and Barrett, some organic vegetable shops, grocers, that kind of thing will sell it as well. So sort of smaller delis.
Okay.
You do tend to be able to buy it in slightly smaller quantities there as well. A lot of them have started, certainly by me, you can get a lot of specialist flours in a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, like an eco refill. So you can just buy it by weight and take your own packaging, and you don't have to have lots of excessive packaging that comes on the outside. So I'd start there. If they're, I don't even know if they're open, but Holland and Barrett are actually really good for peculiar flours and sort of dietary ingredients as well. So if you're looking for that peculiar organic cider vinegar that's got to be very specific, or some spelt flour from a particular mill, you might find it in Holland and Barrett. They've got a surprisingly good range when you go in. Online, there's a few suppliers online where you can get things. We tend to buy in bulk, so you probably don't want to use the same suppliers as we are, because I think there's only so much you can do with 16 kilograms of something. But I would say if you go to somewhere like Squire's Kitchen Shop, they're really good at baking stuff, and they've just started to sell flour. So I would go there, have a little look there too. Cool.
Okay, so we have a first question. Greaseproof paper and baking liners, are they the same thing?
No, in a word, they're not. You can get lots of different types of baking liners. So you can get the silicone ones that are kind of reusable, And the high end of that is something called a Silpat mat. It's like quite a thick, slightly rubbery, sort of flat sheet. Yes, exactly like that, with like a funny woven bit in the middle. But they are amazing. If you make a lot of macaron or you make a lot of tuiles, anything like that, that is your best bet. Nothing sticks to them. They're flexible, they wash, they're absolutely amazing. I would invest in one of those if you do a lot. You can buy sort of cheaper silicone liners, which are reusable, but they have got a shelf life. I don't really like them very much because things do still tend to get stuck on them. If you're doing anything that's caramelizing, it sometimes can be a bit difficult to get it off. The disposable kind of baking parchment that you want to use if you're baking at home is baking parchment, not greaseproof paper. So it very importantly needs to say the words non-stick. If it doesn't say non-stick, be prepared to spend a lot of time picking your greaseproof off the bottom of your cakes or whatever you've made. Greaseproof is okay if you can't get anything else, but the word non-stick, just look for that. It tends to be silicone coated, which is a bit of a shame because I'm not entirely sure you can recycle it. We do put it in our recycling bin and it gets taken away and nobody ever complains about it, but I don't know whether everywhere recycles it. So keep an eye out for that, but they are not the same thing.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. And this will be important to your husband. Because Mike's just built a small outside kitchen.
Yeah.
When I make brisket, once I take my brisket to it's called the stall. You take it out the smoke out the oven, you wrap it in butcher's paper, and put it back in. Now you do that because it's breathable.
Yeah.
I believe it's not greaseproof because all the grease comes through it, but it stays intact. But it keeps the bark on the brisket. So I know that as butcher's paper or peach paper, but I don't know what that's. If I went, because I buy that from American smoke place, same place I got all my smoking woods and chips and all that, and they just call it butcher paper. I've noticed that Sarah Swanson's watching as well. Sarah's a butcher, so she might be able to help on this. But I don't know if there's another name for that. It's not greaseproof. It looks like, remember the paper? You're a lot younger than me, so you probably won't remember. The paper you used to wrap your school books in to protect them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's got a slightly shiny side on one side.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think it is just called butcher's paper. I've never used it, but I have seen it when I've been buying specialist papers. I have seen butcher's paper, but I've never used it. So I think that is the technical term. But maybe
it might be its own thing.
Yeah, like you can buy the end of rolls of newsprint paper, and that's just called newsprint paper. So I presume it is the same kind of thing.
Okay, we are going with the sweet and salty thing about butcher's paper. Is it called butcher's paper? Until a butcher comes and tells us differently, and we may argue with them, we're calling it butcher's paper. So Sarah is saying yes to homemade tortilla wraps. Making homemade tortillas is really, really quite easy. Once you get the flour, it's a really basic dough. It's flour, oil, and water. Unless you have a tortilla press, I would suggest cover your board in cling film, a little bit of oil on it, put your dough on it, and then put more cling film on top of it, and roll it through the cling film. And that'll allow you to get it really, really, really thin. You obviously won't get the sexy little round shape. Or the other option is to put a big baking tray on top of it and just lean down or put something on it. But the whole thing to tortilla wraps is using the right flour and making sure they're nice and thin. We might do that on one of the upcoming Saturday shows, which segues into Saturday shows. This Saturday, we are doing part one of a 2-part Japanese special. We will be doing sushi, and before you turn off, there will be no raw fish. Sushi does not mean raw fish, it means sour rice. So I will be showing you how to make sushi rice, how to roll the sushi rice. You don't have to have a sushi mat. There are other types of sushi you can make without the bamboo mat. I'll actually be showing you how you can make sushi with one of those silicone mats. I'm going to show you the different techniques of how to make sushi and the different types of sushi. No raw fish. Repeat after me. No raw fish. So that's this Saturday. The following Saturday, we'll be doing some Japanese hot dishes. We'll be doing yakitori, which are the little kebabs. We'll be doing some teriyaki, which is the sweet soy sauce, honey sort of marinade. And we'll also be doing chicken katsu curry, which is very crispy, panko breadcrumbs, and a nice sweet, mild curry sauce. So that's the next 2 weeks on the Saturday shows. 12 o'clock, Pirate TV. End of plug. Moving back to the questions. According to Angela, Seeds of Italy have got some in Italian, double O, spelt, etc.
Excellent.
So that's a little update on where to buy some of your specialty flowers. We have, big enough. Emma's like, Kilroy was here. Right. I'll read this and get it off the screen. I broke in the new Weber kettle this week with some lovely chicken breasts, which turned out lovely, but I'd like to do a more traditional barbecue pit style spatchcock chicken. Any tips on spatchcocking a chicken? Yes, that is actually. So there's a quick fix to this, and there's a slightly long wait on it. So when we do the second part of the Japanese special, I will be starting with a whole chicken, and I'll show you how to break that chicken down into its more. I know it's not primaries, but it's more primal parts: leg, thigh, breast, wing, oyster. If I can do that and spatchcock it first, I will. Yeah, I can do that. So not this week, but next week, I will show you how to spatchcock a chicken, and then I will take said spatchcock chicken, pretend it wasn't spatchcocked, and then bone it so that people can stop paying lots of money for individual pieces of chicken, go out buy whole chickens, butcher them themselves. I hope that answers your ridiculously long question. I've got another tip for Mike while he's talking about his Weber. Get yourself down to B&Q or raid Emma's old baking stuff. Get yourself, I call them, it's not a drying, it's the little grills or the little meshes with the feet on them.
Cooling rack.
Cooling rack. They're not a drying rack, it's a cooling rack. Get one of them on your little foil tray. Put a little bit of water in there to keep your breasts moist. Giggity. But put your cooling rack on top of that. Then put whatever you're cooking on the rack. That way, instead of your breasts being against the metal foil and you only getting that lovely smoky bark on the top side, it'll let the smoke underneath it. Giggity. And you'll get that full all the way around flavour. So you're not, because right now, by putting them in the metal tray, you're getting that lovely dry smoke on the top, which is cooking them, but you're going to get all the moisture down below, which is going to end up poaching your chicken and maybe overcooking it or cooking it too fast from the bottom. So you raise it up that little bit and get some airflow underneath it. That help? Oh, and you asked 3 questions in the one thing. The best wood to smoke for a southern style American chicken. Got to be really careful because chicken is a really, unless you buy good chicken is a really flimsy meat. You can overpower the chicken really, really easily, and you can sometimes get an acrid taste off it. So I would go for something light. I would go for, if you're going to use like hickory or maple or mesquite, I would only put smoke on that for maybe 25 minutes out your cooking. If your cooking time on a full chicken is 2 hours, 25 minutes of smoke, and then just let the heat do the rest. That's more than enough smoke on a chicken. If you're going to spatchcock it, I'd maybe say I'd keep the bones to the bottom. Maybe apple wood. You can maybe go for the whole smoke with that. I would keep away from cherry and maple, probably. They're just too strong on a chicken. If you're going to go up to a turkey or something a bit more robust like duck or goose, then you can go with a more, it's like pairing a wine to a food. You know, you want a dry, crisp white with things like fish and chicken. But if you're going for red meats and game, you can go for something a bit more robust. But also, even though you're using the Weber, you don't have to smoke for your full cook. That's why make sure your wood's in a little chunk like that. If you're using something like chicken or fish, soak your wood a little bit, and that'll stop the wood from actually burning. It'll just give off the smoke, and when you've had enough smoke for whatever you're cooking, you can just lift that chunk out, drop it in a bucket of water, leave it out in the sun, dry it out. You can use it again, but just manage your smoke. You don't have to have smoke on it for the whole thing. Right. We should now call this the Wednesday night answer Mike's questions. I've answered the question about the rude Mr. Impatienty. Right. The mother of Connells has an equally, not just as large a question, so you can still see your chin. She follows your recipes for fruit scones, but hers don't rise as much as yours. Why? Could it be your oven? Because she converts your electric temperature to grass. I might know the answer to this.
Ooh. Well, I will say that you do need quite a hot oven, a hotter oven than you think you need for a scone. You need it to be somewhere between like 190 and 200 degrees C, really. I am not good at converting. I have no idea what that is in a gas mark. I've never had a gas oven, so I don't know what that is. But the other thing is I do roll mine quite fat. So they're probably that thick to start with, was about an inch. So I am quite generous, and I do start off with about an inch. And always make sure that you've got self-raising flour. I did once make scones by accident with plain flour, they're flat. But you could put a little bit of extra baking soda or a little bit of extra baking powder in. That might work. Oh, and make sure you only ever brush the top with egg wash. Never put it down the sides, because that will stop them rising as well.
Cool. Can I add my tuppence worth into that as well?
Yeah.
And you can completely debunk it if this is absolute nonsense. But I remember my granny telling me this. When you cut your scones out, take your cutter and go straight down and straight back up. If you put it in and twist, they won't rise as much.
Ooh. I do go straight up and straight down, but not because I thought that was a thing. So I'll do an experiment. Next time I make some, I'll do some twisty ones and some straight up and down ones, and we'll see what happens.
Because apparently, according to my grandmother, if you go straight up and straight down, you keep all your layers, because she said the same thing for puff pastry, and it lets the air, like all the butter you've put in, it lets it all grow, and it allows it to grow because there's nothing holding on to it. But if you twist it, it puts some of the crumb or the loam of the pastry onto the layers, and it keeps it tight. So
yeah.
we will come back to that. That may be nonsense. Warning, nonsense alert. But it might actually be a thing.
Well, yeah. Sometimes when you make a scone, sometimes you get that thump sort of sound when you cut them. You get almost like that vacuum kind of sound. So maybe that is a thing.
Yeah. Okay, you can test that out.
I will. I'll report back.
And if it's true, we are renaming this Double Sweet and Salty. On saying that, some of the savoury stuff you've been making has looked absolutely fantastic. Your nasi goreng looked absolutely delicious.
Oh no, I cannot take credit for that. That was.
I was using the royal wee.
It did look awesome, and I would very much like to have eaten it, but I didn't even get to taste it. That was Ailish that made that, but it did look ace. She is the queen of savoury. Maybe you have to have Ailish on here one week. You can do savoury, salty and salty.
Sweet, savoury. Or we could have sweet, savoury and salty. Giggly. So, and you made paella this weekend, didn't you?
I did. I made you a recipe, and I watched the video back twice. Once to remember what it was I had to do and what I needed, and then once while I was actually doing it, because I'd never made it before. I love paella. I'd never made it before, and it was ace. I loved it. So it was really.
Did you get all your layers?
I did. I hadn't quite got the right pan, so it wasn't quite as crispy at the bottom. I'd got quite a low pan because we've lost a pan somewhere along the line, but it was really nice. It was ace. I loved it. Thank you for the recipe. It was brilliant. If you haven't done it, go back, watch the paella episode, and make it. It's brilliant
and easy. That's easy. So according to Sylvia, she's a twister.
Maybe that's it. Maybe we found the answer.
I am a baking god. Right, that's enough of that. Mike has heard that expression thousands of times, but replaced baking with any other word. I have been a wrestling god, promoting god, cooking god, just a general deity. There's a whole deity thing going on.
And in one episode, actually kind of dressed as the son of. So
The son of. Yes, I am the son of God. That was an Easter special. I was really hoping there was going to be an episode following on the 4th of May, but not this year.
That's a shame. I'm disappointed about that.
So maybe next year. Maybe one dress up a year is enough.
Okay. Well, right. I'd like to see a Princess Leia outfit if you've got one. Actually, it could be quite similar to the Messiah. Really.
I actually do have a Princess Leia outfit. That's why I was hoping for the 4th of May. It's quite disturbing. There's a particular vector of my friends and associates that come to my house for parties, and we are all of an age where Princess Leia had a defining effect on us as adolescents. Not anymore. That has been ruined.
Oh.
So there was a question which I think you answered last week, but we have Karen who won the competition the last time. So she's wanting to know what your favourite cake is. So you can maybe give us a quick recap on that.
I can't remember what I said, but I think Millionaire Shortbread, because it's the one that I like to eat the most. It's actually a bit of a pain to make because there's a lot of stirring of caramel, but I really like making that. And I like making pavlova. And if it's a cake, you can't beat a Victoria sponge. Really, it's so satisfying. Starts off as a flat, gloopy mess, turns out a lovely risen thing.
Yeah, but is Victoria sponge really a cake, or is it just an inconvenience for your mouth?
Well, it wouldn't be my choice because there's no chocolate in it to eat it. But people seem to love it. It is a classic.
Yeah, but they're not. There's a lot of people. There's people out there injecting themselves with disinfectant as well.
Yeah.
They probably eat Victoria. I'm not a fan of Victoria sponge. I think it's a wasted cake opportunity.
Oh, damn it. I was going to send you one as well, Pete.
I like carrot cake.
Yeah, carrot cake's a good one.
I like walnut cake.
Like coffee with walnut.
Yeah, I don't mind what else is in it as long as it's what I'm a fan of walnuts. So, so yeah. So I must admit, I suppose from a cake point of view, I like more of the denser cakes. You know, the carrot cakes and the walnut coffee, and I'm not a big chocolate fan. So, chocolate fudge cake. My daughter and my wife, complete opposite. They're all about the chocolate. So.
Do you know what I think you'd like, Pete? I've got a really nice recipe for something called Kentucky Derby cake. And it's an American cake. They make it in a bundt tin, but it also works not in a bundt tin if you don't want to having to try and shake it out. But it's bourbon and pecans and buttermilk, and you make this really lovely bourbon butter sauce that you kind of soak the cake in when it's cooked. It's really nice. You get this kind of like crispiness on the outside, and then it's all kind of soaky and gooey on the inside.
That does sound nice. I would just like to say, for the purposes of Facebook, who apparently take a great interest in the language which is used in my videos, that was a bundt tin.
Bundt. BUNDT.
Yeah.
Bundt.
Nice. So we've answered some questions. We have had a bit of bantering. I think everybody's suffering from Wednesday malad.
Yeah.
So Mike is suggesting that you should tell the story of the Elvis.
Yes, it doesn't involve me dressing up in a suit, which may be a relief or a disappointment, depending on your perspective.
I'm already 18% less interested.
It's a cupcake. It was a cupcake. I haven't made it for a really long time, but I don't quite know what led me to it. But I ended up making for the very first outing we ever did in Gloria the Van, I made a cupcake called the Elvis, and it is a banana cupcake with strawberry jelly in the center, peanut butter frosting, crispy bacon, and maple syrup on the top. not everybody kind of goes, oh, bacon on a cupcake, but it kind of works. You just have to sort of trust me on that. It is a good combination. It's that sweet, salty. Sweet, salty is a good combo.
Absolutely. I a couple of years back, I done a tasting menu, and I made a pear and bacon tartan with Stilton ice cream. So they had the bacon, the sweet of the tartan, the pears, and then the saltiness of the bacon, and then the ice cream had the saltiness of the Stilton. So I've just had confirmation from real butchers. My favorite butchers, and Sarah, who works in my favorite butchers, they call it peach paper, which is the other name I know it by, but it can be referred to as butcher's paper. So that's a confirmation on our earlier paper boggle.
I've got a follow-up question then. Is it used to wrap peaches?
No, I think it's the texture of it. It's slightly. Okay. It's very
furry.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, like the outside of a peach, the furriness.
It's textured like a peach. But no, it's all good stuff. So before we start wrapping things up, I would draw everybody's attention to the scrolling bar along the bottom. On this week's Q&A, we are giving away a box of lovely cakes from Gloria and Lil's. We are going to throw a Pirate King TV t-shirt in there from the next batch that get printed. But to get such lovely gifts, you have to like this video, share this video, and then like and follow, or get 3 of your friends to like and follow Pirate King TV and Gloria and Lil's. If you do all that, and I know there's a lot of hoops, but the cake is delicious and the t-shirts are fantastic. So stop moaning, there's cake at stake. So that's what we're doing. Saturday, we are doing part 1 of our 2-part Japanese special at the cook-along, 12 o'clock. The ingredients are on Pirate King TV page, so there's no raw fish. I know people go, raw fish. No, there's no raw fish. You guys are doing your, hold on, I will get the plug. You guys are doing your deliveries. If people go to that website, they can buy all kinds of discreetly packaged deliciousness. It comes in a plain brown wrapper, folks.
It does, and there'll be new stuff too next week. So I'm just currently baking my way through this week's orders, but next week's a whole new week, so there'll be new things. I'm pretty certain on the menu as well.
And another big thank you from me, because the Q&As are going well. We're getting about 500 to 600 views on the Q&As, so people are watching them in the time after we record them. So thank you very much for that support. We're going to have Kevin the Butcher back on next week to do another Q&A about all things meaty. The Saturday cook-along shows, as I've said a couple of times, I started this whole thing with hoping that a few of my mates and some strangers would stumble across it on the interwebs. I was expecting to get a couple hundred people watching it. Today, for the first time, Pirate King TV, the Saturday live shows broke through 10,000 views. That just is incredible. I think we're actually nearly 11,000 views. So thank you all for watching it. If you're watching it on replay, thank you. If you're watching it on the replay of a replay, thank you and you. If you're watching on somebody else's watch party, thank them and then thank you. However you're watching it, however you're consuming your pirate giggity, thank you very much. Please keep doing so. As long as you're watching, we'll keep making. And we will certainly be having the lovely Emma back again for a Q&A when she's available.
Thanks. That'd be ace.
This is your moment. You have now got a 10-second plug for Gloria and Lil's. Take away. Go.
Buy cake online at this web address down here. It's going to be delicious. It's contactless delivered to your door if you live in Coventry and Rugby. If you don't live there and you want us to post it, we can post it to you and it will get there in one piece. I am assured. So if you want to buy it now. You can have it next week, have it next Friday. Be amazing.
Outstanding. Fantastic work. So just one last question. Apparently there's still a bit of Dubai. No. Sushi does not mean raw fish. Sashimi means raw fish. Sushi means soured rice. So we will be making things with soured rice. Doesn't that sound yummy? But it will be yummy. So tune in, learn how to make it with us. That'd be great. If you want to watch the episodes, same as the Connell's done, see what it's all about, see what ingredients you need, and then go back and revisit it, which I think that's what a lot of people are doing. So we start with sushi on Saturday, and then we'll do some hot Japanese stuff the following week. So I think that's us. I think what we are we done? Are we finished? Yes. So just take this opportunity again. Thank Emma. Thank you very much for being my guest again. We will have you back. We have Kevin from Donald the Butcher's next week. I'm going to see if I can get some more diverse. I've got a baker and a butcher. So if you know a candlestick maker, that would be great. Other than that, I will see you all on Saturday. Hopefully Emma will be getting orders for cakes from you all tomorrow. Remember, enter the competition. I'll put all the details of the competition. I'm going to keep them in this video. So if people want to win the competition, they have to watch the video. If we stick it outside the video, we make it far too easy for people. So good luck. Win some cake. Win possibly the fashion accessory of the year. And we'll see you all on Saturday. Thank you ever so much. Bye. Bye. Cocktails.
Yes. That's a brilliant one.